live on YouTube. Here we go.
So yeah, it'll go in a second, basically. We're now live on YouTube.
Here we go.
Give me 1 second and I'm gonna do one more thing. But while I'm doing that, so yeah, it'll go in a second, basically. We're now live on YouTube. So I can't give me 1 second thing. But while I'm doing that, so yeah, it'll go in a second, basically. What's happening? We're now live on YouTube. So I can't give me 1 second. No one can hear me, right? Now it's like normal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that was weird. Sorry. I think if we could start by introducing ourselves and saying where you are now, which is like kind of cool for some of you, and also what you did on Indigo Valley. Yeah. I'll go first. I'm Jacqueline, and I am the director, or I directed it in the past, and also am one of the characters in the movie. So I guess Fanny, and then we can go around.
Okay, great. Well, hi, YouTube. I'm Fanny Pierre. I was the unit production manager on the film. It was my first time unit production manager, and it was a lovely experience. I was so grateful for Jacqueline to trust me, and to also Misha, who was the producer of the film. And I'm in LA right now. And if you hear a lovely accent, it's because I'm originally from Belgium.
Okay, Dalal. Can you guys just keep talking, keep going? I've got to post it somewhere else. Okay.
Hello, I'm Dalal, and I'm one of the composers on Indigo Valley, and I'm currently in Los Angeles, and it's hot.
Yeah, I will second that. My name is Mesa Pullman, and I'm one of the composers as well of Indigo Valley.
Hello.
And I'm also in Los Angeles and sweating bullets.
I'll go. So I'm Irene Gomez Emerson, and I shot the film. I'm the cinematographer, and it was my first feature. So I'm really excited for the film to come out. And I'm in London, so it's late here.
Who did I miss? Linda?
Okay, I'm Celinda. I'm the editor for the film and also the associate producer for the film. Right now I'm in LA. Originally I was born in China, grew up in Canada, and then moved to LA 5 years ago. Yeah, it's my first feature after I graduated from AFI with Jacqueline.
Okay.
I'll go next.
Julia.
I'm Julia. I'm an old friend of Jacqueline's. We met when we were both living in New York, probably 10 years ago now. And I'm actually originally from Russia, but I'm currently in Toronto. This is where I live now. I wrote a song for the film. I don't quite remember which part it features it, sorry. But yeah, I have one song in the film on the soundtrack, super exciting. For me, it's my first time contributing a piece of music to a production. So thanks so much for including me. The song is called Alp Suite, check it out. So yeah.
And well, hi, my name is Tessie Errasti. I'm originally from Mexico City, and I portrayed a character in the film of Indigo Valley called Hulda, who was the person who dealt with the hotel that these characters arrived to. And I was very happy for the opportunity. I'm very happy to be here today. I'm in New York City, and yeah, I'm just really thrilled to be here with all of you.
I'm really so happy to see so many familiar faces, some that I haven't seen in a really long time, and also all girls, all women. And I think something we were talking about yesterday was this was a lot of firsts for everyone. I think everyone here, except maybe Tessie, you've been acting before, but I think I don't know. I guess I want to start with just like a sort of general, but like I'm sure you guys all have different answers to this. Is what inspired you about the story and the project? What made you? I mean, besides like you wanted to work with a certain person on board or something. What about the material, as all of you are creatives, as a creative, drew you to the project? Irene or Fanny or both?
You can go, Irene.
I mean, we've been speaking about this project for 4 years, so yeah, I always love like the sort of the love triangle and the sort of tunnel that it goes into through the as the narrative evolves, and also the relationship to the landscape, sort of the inner landscape that the characters have, and like the relationship to the exterior landscape. So yeah, and I was always sort of fascinated by those relationships. Yeah, and the sister relationship was also really very interesting to me.
Yeah, so what I really liked when I read the movie is that I was new to Los Angeles, and it was bringing the story to so many different places, and it was going with the emotional journey of the characters, and I was like, that's not just something that's happening, you know, in their heart or in their relationship, but it's also something that they're living really in their body as they're going on the road. And I don't know, for me it was really special because we also, as the crew, we went on the road on those same places, and we saw the film evolve and the relationships with the characters and with the crew and everything, and it was just very special because I felt like we were living the same kind of thing that they were living. So it was, for me, very special for that.
Dalal and Mesa, can you two kind of like tag team here? I don't know.
Do you want to go first, Mesa?
Sure. I remember reading the script for the short and just being like, putting it down and being like, fuck, oh my God, that happens in the end? This is amazing. And for the short, it was set in Iceland, but it doesn't matter that the feature happened in the wilderness of California, an ambiguous wilderness, but it all had this spaciousness too. Like Irene was saying that I was inspired by musically to like be in that world, and also just get into Isabella's psyche of like this dark stuff going on. Was a lot of grist for the mill musically.
Yeah, I think I liked it because it had that feeling of a road trip film. To me, it's like it constantly was moving somewhere. They were in the car, or they were on a hike, or they were going somewhere. They were not in their place of comfort, so that was an interesting thing. And it was really fun to be on set. That's actually, May said this is where we both first met and sat down and basically went through the script. So that was very exciting, and I just really like the feel of the film. And like Fanny, I think, said about the landscape being such a character, or maybe it was Irene. I think that gives a composer so much to draw on. And yeah, like I think we had a lot of fun working on this.
Julia, can we go to you because you also contributed to the music?
Okay. So actually, Jacqueline had reached out to me to see if I would be interested in contributing to the film, and of course I was in a place where I was writing quite a lot of things at the time, so I was in a very creative space. And after seeing the the rough cut of the film, I was like, I got just the thing. I had been working on something that was that matched the film and its mood, I would say. Like maybe not so much aesthetically, but definitely with the mood and the themes of the emotional themes of the film. I felt like I could really contribute something that would fit in quite nicely. And it sort of became very interesting because I was writing this piece that was kind of metaphoric about like climbing a mountain or Alps, right? And the film takes place in a valley, so to me that was kind of a funny little thing that I definitely knew that I wanted to keep writing, like that theme in the lyrics. And yeah, and it just grew from there, and I'm really happy with the song and what it became. And I think when I saw the final cut of the film and had already heard the final version, which actually Mesa helped me record, thank you, Mesa. Yeah, I just felt like it went perfectly, and I'm so happy to have been able to contribute that.
Such a beautiful song.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Alp Swede.
That's so nice. And like, okay, Celinda and then Tessie, I guess.
Well, apparently I've worked with Jacqueline on cycle films and thesis film. I think we had a great collaboration together. And, right away, it was kind of very sudden. Jacqueline said, oh, I just have this feature ready. Do you want to work together? I was like, we haven't graduated yet and we're having this feature. So, and then she's like, yeah, plus we're like the principal team is going to be female. And surprisingly, when I visited on set, almost like 80% were all female. So I was like, great, I want to support filmmakers. So that's originally why I was very interested in. And then once I read the script, I think I can really resonate with the characters in the story. I've been in a position in life, I guess, position of Lois and also Isabel. So, this is a story I'm sure every single woman can be related to. So I think it's a very powerful story. It's simple, but it's
Which part?
It's a secret. I'm kidding. Well, that's a good question, Dalal. We'll talk after.
She was saying, like, because we were talking about like what was, I think it was like the most challenging or the most like fun to edit, and we were talking about the like the like breakdown sequences where they're like very like fast cuts, and like how Celinda related to that maybe in some way.
Emotional journey, yeah, definitely. The panic attack and the hallucination. Well, I guess I don't have hallucination, but like when you're in a relationship or like, you're just like having that anxiety. I think that really relates to me. So, and I think the film in general is a narrative film, but at the same time, there are so many experimental elements in it. I think that's a challenging part for the film, but at the same time, I think I learned a lot through this film. So I guess, yeah, that's the reason why I was on board for the film.
Okay, yay. Tessie?
Well, I read the script, and I was very interested in the dynamics of the story of the three characters, and plus I love that the project takes its time to flow. It's not rapid paced. It's following the people, right? Their feelings, their interpretation of how they see life and how they see this triangle, how she sees her life as a performer, as a loner, as maybe a touch of like touching mental illness. Why not? And the fact that all the team was female as well resonated with me a lot. I really like when filmmakers touch characters that are complex, that are flawed not in a bad way, but that have complexity, humanity, character, that they're just like bright or whatever. And I guess I'm not making any sense, but that are just that have a little bit more to say, like a little bit more meat in them.
Complexity.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, all of you are complex women in a good way, I think, as from what I've seen from you. I mean, I don't know.
Thank you.
So much I don't like to think that we're all simple. I guess my other kind of major point here is like, how does it feel now to have this movie come out 2 years later? Which is like something, it's like a risk. I think we've all worked in indie film in some capacity. And we know that whenever you make a project, or some things don't even get made. So it's like so lucky to make this, but then you also never know if it's going to come out, if anybody's going to see it, if anybody's going to, like it. And we worked really hard because, obviously a little bit of our journey was affected by COVID, and we couldn't play the festivals that we got into eventually. So with this online release, it's sort of like the best thing we can do right now, and getting like a really great digital release. So I guess, can you all I don't know, talk a little bit about how it feels to have your work now kind of on this project go out into the world at this time in our modern history that is so wild?
I think that's a good word, wild, to kind of connect the times with the film. But do you mind if I cut in? Hello, can you hear me?
No, I'm just muted. Yeah, I mean, anybody.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I was just saying, for me and Mesa, it was quite nice because we have already released the soundtrack. So the soundtrack is already out. So this is just really lovely for me to see. Obviously, to see that it to get the release that it deserves. I was very excited to have it screen at a film festival, to have it to see it at a film festival, because I think it's it's a film that suits itself great to festivals, to a festival run. But this is a wonderful thing that's happening. I'm so excited to see the film come out and for people to see it. And then also go and listen to the soundtrack.
Yeah, it makes the soundtrack make sense too, to have the soundtrack out now. And just it's so awesome that the movie is going to be out too. So it's all fleshed out, and it feels like full bloom, and
yes,
really well deserved, because it's such an amazing film and in every aspect.
And I would say that it's a great thing that it's coming out despite the circumstances that we're going through right now, because we could say okay, it just got frozen for another 5 years, right? No, it's out there, it's going out there, and it reflects the work of each and every one of you and all the effort that you all put in to this work. And I think that it's very challenging to, as you say, accomplish a film from the beginning to the end. And I only say bravo and congratulations to each and every one of you for all your hard work.
And I never doubted that it would come out. I just know. I know indie film is very hard, but at the same time, it's if you believe in it and you put the work, it will come out, and so it's so exciting to see it out and seeing all the great reviews it's getting. It's really rewarding. What?
We've gotten a few, not a ton, a few, but there's going to be more next week.
Yeah, but the few really nice reviews, and they sort of honor all the work that all of you guys did, and sort of Jacqueline's
Reviews
Yeah,
are just like friends. You only need a couple good ones, right?
I mean, I think it's interesting because I think what we were talking about, like Dalal, you actually said like there's a million pathways like with films, like distribution and things coming out, and like some people get really lucky with, you know, having the right people see their film and having it get into the right festival that can launch like everything, especially on a first feature. I think that maybe happens to like 2% but of directors, but because that's what we look at every day. We're looking at the media, we're following these actors that we love or these festivals. And so it seems like, at least for me, it seemed like that was like what I had to do. And then I kind of realized, oh no, this isn't the only movie I'm ever going to make. This isn't the only like festival opportunity I'm ever going to have. And I just kind of figured a way to do it, like, I guess like my own way that could still be released in this kind of untraditional time, because it feels like, yeah, I mean, I guess the little bit of the sad thing is we could obviously have had like a cinema, you know, screening, premiere, whatever, and weekends in LA and New York or whatever, but I think those will eventually happen in the new year, hopefully. So that's something we can all look forward to try to celebrate together.
I think this would be such a great movie to see at a drive-in.
Thought about that too, but I think it's expensive.
I'm sorry?
I feel like they're expensive. Anyway, this is like
I have no idea, but like I think that would just lend itself so greatly to like drive to a drive-in theater and watch Indigo Valley, you know, and after that you turn on the radio and you listen to the soundtrack. You know, like,
yeah, no, that's definitely an idea, and I think it's like pretty solid in California just because of the weather that we're gonna have for the whole year, fall.
I think in London it'd be great too. The rainy weather in the drive.
Well, London is like opening cinemas. Julia, are the cinemas open in Canada?
Are they? Like, I think maybe very limited, only a few. I did go to a drive-in a couple of weekends ago, but
what'd you watch?
Oh, it was a double bill. We saw Labyrinth and Stand By Me.
Oh.
I did fall asleep a little bit, but it was very late. And I'm an old lady, but I agree with you. I think this film would work perfectly at a drive-in, just because, you know, you got the nature around you, especially like if you're in California or like Arizona.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Dalal, you can do that. You can find a drive-in for us to.
I will do my best. I will put out my feelers.
Wait, I feel like it kind of shows the integrity of the film to have it be coming out despite the hardships. And like, no matter what in this time, and you've paved your own path with it and you're putting it out no matter what, it sends a really great message to the universe that you are unstoppable.
Well said, Mesa. Well said.
Well, I guess I'm just curious because some of you had, like, I know Julia and Tessie, I want to ask you guys specifically because you had more limited experiences with the film, because I guess all of us up here were kind of heavily working on it, either on set or, you know, in post-production. And I'm just thinking, like, is your job as like a creative, I know both of you do various different things, but when you're looking, or I don't know if you seek work as a actor or musician or a artist or whatever you do, especially now in this time, like, what are you looking for? What do you think needs to be told? And how do you think the small part, I mean, you want to, but like, you're obviously a big part of the film, but like, there are no small parts, you know, but like, in terms of your experience working on this in a more limited capacity, how do you think that informed kind of like how it came out in the end, maybe? Did that make any sense?
Yes, for me it does. I think that right now, this is a time where I think that we as artists and filmmakers and our actors, sometimes we tend to focus too much in the results and in the goal. Like, okay, this is the destination that I'm gonna go, right? And you hear all these times in Hollywood, they say it's like it's a marathon, not a sprint. Like, think about the journey, not the destination. And you don't really understand it when until you find yourself there in the process. And what I'm trying to say is that the important thing right now, I think, is to do the things, to just like to still be creative, but without trying to fetch a specific result. Because right now the world doesn't lead us to any specific results. Like there's nothing that we can predict, not even tomorrow, not even in 3 hours. It's impossible, right? So just focusing on like creating our art and like bringing it out there. And very important to talk about female stories, to talk about normal people, and to talk about inclusion, to talk about diversity, to talk about racism, and open up the uncomfortable conversations about the difference between us. That is, they should not exist, the difference, you know. Like, I still dream of a day where you can tell someone that has like, I don't know, Arabic features and ask, hey, are you from this place? And instead of having no, I'm not from that place, I'm from this place, it's like, oh no, but I'm from this place, but thank you for saying that it's also a part of the Arabic culture, you know, and not take everything as an attack, as something that it's great to be like a very, very fear of our like very fier, I said it in French, very proud of our heritage, but like to have these conversations and to stop putting, you know, like to allow more people and more nuances to come to film and to stories, and to just break the boundaries between us. You know, I think that's important. You're muted. I can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
I was saying, look at this group here. We have people from Mexico. We have someone from China. We have someone from Russia. We have some Austrian and Egyptian and Fanny.
Arabic. Speaking of.
And Fanny, you're from Belgium, and Mesa, you're from LA. So, I mean, it's like we just have like it's amazing like how film can bring people together. And I've met all of you in sort of different walks of my life. And I felt like I feel like I remember on like the first day of shooting, which was like really hot and like really intense and like 15 pages or something. But looking around and thinking like, wow, like look at all these people from all these different places that like came together to do this movie. And that was like a really cool feeling. I think sometimes people like forget because they're like obsessed with getting a result or meeting a deadline or, you know, whatever.
I wanted to say, when you asked us earlier how we felt about the movie coming out, that I feel a lot of tenderness for who we were at the time that we filmed the movie, because when you see where we're right now, like how many projects have you worked on, has everybody worked on since that moment, it I don't know, the fact that the movie comes out now when it's like a weird moment in our lives, when that experience was a first experience for all of us, we felt uncertain. I remember on set, sometimes we were kind of like improvising with what was going on because we didn't really know how to do things. Or, you know, it's like, it was a first movie. It was a low budget movie. It was a first for a lot of people. So it feels a bit the same way, like we're improvising, we're taking it the way it happens, and that's exactly how I felt at the moment. So I think it's perfect.
Can I ask all of you to wrap up, like what you're working on now, or have since we wrapped the movie, and also why you think people should check Indigo Valley out? Besides you. sense.
So I'm gonna start. I think you should check Indigo Valley because you're probably gonna feel inspired, because I was. I'm writing my first feature right now because I saw other people like you doing it, and I was like, well, you know, if she can do it, like I'm not saying that it's easy and it's given, but sometimes when you see other people do something you thought, oh, maybe it's I can't or whatever because I'm a woman or any reason you give yourself, and then you see someone do it, you're like, okay, I'm just gonna do it too. So I think that can be very inspiring for a lot of people.
Annie, what are you working on besides your writing?
Yeah, I'm writing my first feature, and that has taken a lot of time. I'm looking for funds because it's gonna happen in Europe, so I'm working on that over there right now.
Well, I think people should look at the film, yes, to be inspired. Fanny is totally right. But also go into like a journey with these characters, like visually taken into this tunnel, this spiral in the desert, and come out changed. So yeah, check it out. And I'm working on a project that should happen in Iceland next year. So coming like full circle from the short and the Indigo Valley short. So yeah.
Yeah, I think Indigo Valley right now is a great film if you feel like you want to get away. Because I think with the limited traveling, it just gives you an escape to just like get somewhere else in the mind and in the music. And and yeah, I think a good film is a good film. And like there's, you know, what are we working on? What am I working on? Another Jacqueline Bethany film. One that has 37 pieces.
No joke. Not an
No joke.
It's a great film.
Yeah, it's a great film. It's called The Highway 1.
So different.
I'm sorry?
It's very different. Do you think there are any similarities? I don't really think there are.
Well, it's got a road theme again. I feel like in the idea of like the traveling theme is in there. I feel like. But there's some similarities with, I feel like, with the idea between either female relationships or female friendships. I think that's which is a cool thing again. And then I'm just working on some fun albums, and that's it.
Linda?
Well, are we talking about what I'm working now or after Indigo Valley?
I mean, it's for an editor, it's like, because all your stuff is going to come out too eventually, right? Just talk about what you've done since then, I guess. Or yeah.
Sure. Yeah, after Indigo Valley, I guess I work on another project with Jacqueline Delano Mesa. It's called Under the Lantern Lit Sky. We just finished that film, and then I was working on Pink concert tour for the opening of her concert, and then I was working on AFI Life Achievement for Denzel Washington. And then I was working with Brandon Peebell, who is the lead from Dear White People, for his film. And then right now I'm working, it's so interesting, I'm working on a producing set with ArcLight production film for 2 animation films, and at the same time I'm developing my own feature film. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Linda, why should people watch Indigo Valley?
Oh, is that a question? Definitely, there's no doubt, of course. You know, this is so funny because I was looking at IMDb credits for our Indigo Valley. I'm so proud that, like you said, Jacqueline, 89% or 85% at least, we're all female, and we're all doing such a great job. Every single department, every single female are just so talented. I'm just so proud to be part of this process. And plus, you know, I guess when we're working on that project, when we're working on Indigo Valley, during the editing process, I remember you kept saying, you know, I don't know when this baby is going to be delivered and where is this baby is going. And I think I keep telling you is that there's no doubt that this film is going to be great. And, you know, from the beginning to the end, and how hardworking we are, every single one. I think, you know, we have a small budget, but we did it. It's almost like everyone is so passionate working on it. So there's no doubt. I have never thought this film, and think about it, how many films that are made of like 80% of female crew? I don't think there's any. Like I mean, this year, at least this year, I haven't seen any film that's made of like so many female, very talented, extremely talented female filmmakers. So I'm very proud of us. And just for that, everyone should check out the movie. Plus the movie is just fantastic. So.
In Mesa?
Yeah, it's like, you know, I think it's a common saying that it's like a love project or like a love child or something. And I think that those are really, really amazing projects to be a part of, because when like TLC is given to every aspect of what gets woven together, it's gonna sing. Like the scenes are gonna sing because everyone is loving or is putting themselves into those moments. And so it's like alchemically all coming together into something that is close to magic. So that is why people should see Indigo Valley, because it's magical and transporting.
Mesa, what are you working on besides Dalal? You're working on Dalal.
Yes. Dalal and I have been working on our pad thai skills.
Yeah, that's really important. That's really what we've been working on mostly.
You know, because we've been having epic sessions.
And Spice Girls, I heard. Spice Girls, yeah.
Very important, very important. Spice Girls and pad thai is really key to our process.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's amazing. Indigo Valley really started this fruitful collaborative relationship between Dalal and I, and we've co-composed the music for Under the Lantern Lit Sky, like Celinda was mentioning, and this Highway 1 is going to be amazing, and we won those Hollywood in Music and Media Awards. Let it not be forgotten.
Let it not be forgotten.
And then
you released an album that you like made during quarantine or something, like insane, like
right, very key. Yes, I just released this full-length album that has actually been done for a while, but and so it's a strange time to release things for sure in every medium, but it feels so good, like that the album's coming out and the movie's coming out, and but at the same time also working on the next album, of course, and so it's all the creativities on all levels.
Okay, amazing. Julia, and then Tessie.
Yeah, sure. So why should people watch Indigo Valley? Because what the heck else are you gonna do right now? I don't think anyone's going to the office. Fire up your iTunes account. Why the hell not? Just kidding. Well, not kidding, but yeah, I don't know. Just like everybody else said, I think this is incredibly important that this film is so heavily produced, funded, just birthed, you know, by women. I think that's really important, and that's really exciting. And, you know, I'll be honest, I'm not that aware of, you know, so many projects that are like that. So I think it's important to push that and let people know that, yeah, you can like band up with, you know, your pals and people that women that you think are talented and just do this thing. So I think that's really great. And what am I working on? Well, I do still have a day job. So that's what I'm working on. I'm sitting on my computer. But also, I did actually
question. What is your day job right now? Just curious. Sorry, it's nothing to do, because I don't know. I know what you did do, but if you don't want to share, it's fine. But
no, it's perfectly okay. But it's going to bore you to death. I'm in business development for a tech company.
Okay. Cool.
but yeah, I did take quite a long break from doing anything musically because I was moving to Toronto, like basically like just a few months after actually, you know, I recorded the song with Mesa in LA. I started preparing to move to Toronto. So when I came here, everything was very new. I didn't have a guitar or anything like that. And it's, I would say like from quarantine is when I started like sitting down each week to actually like get back in the groove of things. So I have been revisiting some of the older material that I wrote and recording it just for myself, seeing what you know comes out of it. I guess Mesa, you inspired me with being the first person to record me ever.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you're singing and playing now.
Yes, I've been trying to do more of that. And, you know, I have been feeling more creatively. Like at the beginning of quarantine, I think we can all relate. We kind of felt this pressure of like, shit, I got to like make stuff, like I've got to create because I have all this time. And that can really weigh on you. And I think it kind of actually gets you to a point where you're in a rut because, you know, like you get a creative block from putting that much pressure on yourself. So that might have been the case with me as well. And now that things are kind of slowing down with COVID, hopefully, fingers crossed, I think kind of a release is coming out. And I do feel more creative and more ready to write again, I guess.
Julia, wait, did we go to a Florence and the Machine concert in college? Was that you?
No, we saw Laura Marling together.
Okay, I knew it was one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Memories. I still have the t-shirt.
You were at the same Florence concert that I was at, because
maybe we just didn't go together.
Maybe not.
Tessie, last but not least.
Well, why should people see Indigo Valley? For most of the reasons that my peers have said here, and also for, I think that to support artists and filmmakers and to all of the love that really is put on in the process from the beginning to the end to bring a story together. And I really think it's an incredible and monumental process, a lot of energy consumed, a lot of relationships built and everything. So if you really want to support a project that it's independent, that talks about people, like real people, real stories, just go for Indigo Valley, watch the film. I hope you enjoy it. And what am I doing right now? I just started the process of festivals with a, sorry, I muted myself accidentally. So I started like the festival run out with the project that Fanny directed and we wrote. It's called The Jewels of Light. It's a fantasy story based on a novel that I'm writing. And right now I'm just writing the novel, building all the characters, doing all the cartography like a super nerd and just dying in the process. No, I'm kidding. So just nerding about it a lot and like putting a lot of diversity there in the characters and trying to include as much as I can a lot of people and a lot of different different nationalities and skin colors and places and everything. And so yeah, I hope that will eventually come to a fruition and that it's starting to move on to the next step.
I want to leave you with a positive thing. I'll be right back, like in 1 second. I have to grab my phone.
Beautiful.
Surprise! It's so,
We will
I just wanted to say it's like
regularly scheduled program.
It's so
I leave you with something
inspiring to
positive, grabbing my phone, and then she's gone.
Wait, what? Irene has like an actual like thoughtful point or something, and I'm just.
And I just wanted to say that it's so inspiring to hear, all of your experiences.
It is.
Yeah, I love hearing like the music, the process of composing the music and the editing, and your point of view in production, Fanny. So
Well, I think that's the
been
fun
really
part.
nice.
I think that's the great part of making film. It's like so many different, whether it's female and male crews. I think it's the fun thing is just really people just coming together and doing something creative together.
Yeah.
So So is this the positive thing you're going to tell us?
I wanted to with this written by me. This is written by some critic who gave us
Some.
I mean, guys, I don't know. There's like a lot of it. 3.5 stars, and the last, I guess, like the last, paragraph or whatever is, Indigo Valley is a smart, illuminating little film and absolutely nails the complex, unknowable relationship that can develop between sisters. The story takes unpredictable turns, and I won't dare spoil them here. For anybody in the mood for a layered, introspective drama, Jacqueline Bethany's film is definitely worth a look. 73 minutes, not rated, out on Tuesday on Apple TV and Amazon Prime. Let's go. Thank you. This was so fun. Have a great
Congratulations, Indigo Valley team.
Wait, last question. Where was that published, that review?
I'm going to send everybody when I have all of them, so you can post, you can have them for yourself. This was on Film Daily, I think.
Cool.
But we're going to be in the New York Times and IndieWire next week. So, cool.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
For having us.
Bye.
Bring flag.